Alright, we're getting back to working on the Suzuki LT 230E restoration project. We haven't worked on it in a while, so getting back to it, trying to get a few things going here. Trying to get the rims ready for paint. I got to straighten them out and sandblast them and all that. But I'm going to make a video tonight on how to remove an old stubborn ATV tire that's been on for a long time. I brought this one out just for an example. This is the original Dunlop that's been on this wheel for 30 years. This is off an 86 230S. So that's what this trick is good for. It's for getting off old dry rotted tires that are bald, and like I said, they've been on there a long time and they just don't want to come off. These wheels right here, I actually tried to get off with get the tires off with my Harbor Freight tire remover with no luck at all. I've had luck with the machine before, lawnmower tires and some other ATV tires that weren't that old, but these were the original tires that were on these rims as well. And I actually ended up bringing them to a tire shop, and the guy was at it for a couple hours and he couldn't get it off. He basically told me he'd have to charge me a fortune if he kept trying, so he was ready to give up. So anyhow, I took him back here to my shop, and this is the front wheel. I got one of them done already that I did a while back, but this one here, you can see I already cut the tire off, and I'm going to show you my method to get this part off. So what happens is these, I'll use the word seized, they literally get seized onto this rim. And even the guy with the tire machine with the pneumatics and everything, he still couldn't get it to budge, because there's these steel bands that go around here. There's about 20 of them. When they've been on there that long, they just get stubborn. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this set up, and I'll show you what I do to get these off. Here's some of the tools you're going to need to get this done. Going to need a sawzall, some kind of drill, some spinner bits. You're going to want one of these die grinder bits. This one's for fitting in a regular drill, but you can get them for your Dremel as well. But this is not that style. This is actually going to go in the drill, or I might even get my power drill out with the cord. Utility knife, a pair of like nips. These are electrical tools, but any kind of like diagonal cutters or something will work. Hammer and a small flathead screwdriver. So first things first, I'm not going to do it to this tire, but just going to show you. Take your spinner bit. This one's a little bit small. You would want one a little bit bigger. I don't recommend using this style because it's got the threads on it and it tends to grab. But basically, to cut the old tire off, just drill yourself 4 holes around the tire, and then same thing on the other side. Then get your sawzall blade, and try to get as close as you can, but not so close where you're going to cut into your rim. And basically cut around, flip it over, cut around, and get the bulk of the tire out of your way. And that's the easy part. So then you'll be left with something like this. Let's take about a 3/4 of an inch section and take your utility knife and just try to break through the first few layers of the tire. Alright, so that's the end result that you're looking for. You want to get down to these steel belts right here. That probably took me a good 10 minutes to do that. Definitely not claiming that this is the quickest way in the world, but this definitely works. This is pretty much when everything else has failed. I know people that make a board and they put it around the tire and they drive the truck up on it to pop the bead. I've tried that. Like I said, this was at the tire shop. They couldn't even get it off with the machine. That failed miserably, at least at these anyway. So anyhow, again, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but once you get rolling, it's not too bad. It probably takes you, I don't know, 5 minutes to drill those holes and cut the tire off. This is another 10 minutes, and and then the rest of this process is probably another 10 minutes. I'm going to show you how we get them off, and then of course you got to do it on the other side. So you're going to have a good half an hour or better into each wheel, but it works. All right, so our next step is to get our screwdriver. You want a smaller screwdriver, not so small that it doesn't have any strength, but something about this size. I'd call it a medium size. I just grinded this a little bit on my grinder because the tip was broken on this one. But once you're down to these steel wires, you definitely want to wear safety goggles. This is hardened steel, and the process that I'm going to show you, when these break, they could definitely send some metal flying through the air. So definitely wear your safety goggles. So the idea is to get your flathead screwdriver and get in between one of the wires, tap it in a little bit, and then once you got it in there, all you got to do is, try to get this on the camera, is take it and turn it either counterclockwise or clockwise. I don't think it's going to matter. And it snaps. It's that easy. Once you get to this point, then you take that. This is where these pliers come in handy. Bend it out of your way. Get to your next one. Actually, it looks like I got two in that one. Alright, so once you get your last one broken off there, this thing will peel right off. That's it. And the whole trick is to get those steel bands broke. Again, if you've ever tried to get one of these off and you beat the heck out of it and you're like, this thing's never coming off, as soon as you break through that last metal band, it pulls off like nothing. So it's a good trick. Like I said, it's not a 5-minute fix by any means. You're going to probably spend at least 30 minutes on a wheel, but it works, and you get to save your rim for another day.